Hello YouTubers, welcome back to CSS tutorial series part 2. Let's see what we will learn in this tutorial. In this tutorial we will cover comments for both CSS and HTML, and we will learn what's the use of comments, and then we will learn about colors. So there are different types of color, which is color names, color hex colors, RGBA color, and HSLA color. So we will learn what's the difference between them and what is the use of them and which color to use for your project. So let's get started. So I'm back to my desktop, and here you see the folder I have, and that's the same folder we worked on our last tutorial. So I'm going to open this folder in my code editor, and this time I'm using Atom. So I will open on Atom, and here you would see I have only added a few things. So I have imported fonts from Google. Okay, and I added just the header in CSS, and let's take a look in HTML. So in HTML I only added this section, so let's see how it looks on the website. So I'm going to open my index.html in the Finder. So this is how the website looks right now. I have added just a cover, and the content is still the same. There's no difference. I'll show you on the CSS side and HTML side what I have done. So let's take a look. So in HTML I have only added this header element, and I gave it a background image. So let's take a look in CSS, which is this one. Okay, so I did only two things. I imported the Google fonts. Okay, so our website looks good, but I have not applied them yet. And here's the header section, and I gave it like a width of 100%, height of 500 pixel, and I gave it like background image. I gave it a background size to remain cover, so it covers the whole area of width and height. And I also give it a background position, which means like which part of the photo should be appearing. This we will learn in the next tutorial, but I just wanted to add this thing to make our project looks more interesting. So let's take a look about the comments. So what's the benefit of the comment? Like you can see here, I've added two comments here. It says here body begins and here body ends. The main purpose of comments is to tell ourselves for the future reference where a section begins and where it ends. Okay, now what happens that if you are working on a website and the website becomes massive and there are many sections, many elements, many classes, there could be like big mess. Maybe there are many containers inside one container to another, and you may want to keep the track of it. So you can just simply write the comment that here certain section begins and here certain section ends. So in the future, when you want to work on it, all you need to do is to look for the comment and you would see where it's ending. Now why it is important? Because many times what happens that you write a code, let's say this body section, okay, and if you happen to add another container, let's say for example I add one here, I would say dot container, okay, and then it's already closing it here. So I want to take this because I want to cover this container around header and those content. So then I supposed to be closing it down here, okay, because now it is inside the body. So it is below the opening of a body section, and here closing before the body closes. So what I can do here, container begins, so I can write less than sign, exclamation mark, 2 dashes, and you see everything is commented out because it does not know where the comment is ending. So we can just start writing container starts here, okay, and then I can just put 2 dashes and greater than sign. Now the comment is done. To make it clear, I can also do it here. Now I'm using one plugin in Atom. It's called Emmet, E-M-M-E-T, E-M-M-I-T, or I'm not sure exactly the spelling, but we'll check later, and I will make another tutorial about this as well. So Emmet makes things easier. So if I just press command, okay, and I press the backslash, it gives me the comment. So you see what it did? It just commented out div, which we do not want, okay? So we're just going to type it here with our own hand. Container ends here, okay? Now I know that body begins here, container begins here, container ends here, body ends here. It keeps things simple and organized for the future reference, okay? Another thing is a good thing about the comment. Let's say I don't want this paragraph to show on the website, but I also don't want to delete it. So what I can do is just select the whole paragraph, press command and backslash, and it's commented out. So if I save this, so I would press command S, or I can simply go in, it should be save all. Okay. Now let's go to website and let's take a look. So right now the paragraph is shown here, is displaying here. As soon as I refresh, it should disappear. The reason why it disappeared because I commented out, and anything that's written in the comment does not display on the website. Okay. So what happened here, that I did not have to lose the text, but I could still make it invisible or disappeared from the website, okay? But I do not want to make it disappear, so I'm going to select it, press the same command again, command plus backslash, and my content's back. So this is one of the benefit of using comments, that you can have the content in the backend in your index file or HTML file, and on the main page it will not show. So you do not lose the content, but you still have it and it's not displaying on the website, okay? So this is how it works in the HTML. Let's take a look in CSS. So let's say I have this header, I want to comment it out. I have to do exactly the same. I just select it all, press comment and backslash, and now this is not going to apply on our website. So if I save it with command S, go to our website and refresh, the image will be gone. Okay, so I did not have to lose the code, but it made it disappear. Now, what's the benefit of it? Let's say you are trying out different styles. Let me put it back to the display. So let's say you want to try a few things about on your website. Let's say how this header will look, how this background will look, or this image will look. So what you can do, you can write, let's say I copy this code and I paste it here. I make the necessary changes, okay, and then I see how it looks. So let's say background position bottom, okay. Let's take a look again on the website how it looks. I need to save it, save and refresh, okay. So what it says that background position means background position bottom means picture needs to display from the bottom. So this is the part I wanted to show more, like keyboard, mouse, and the computer. So that's what it's showing. So let's say I want to try image differently without making any changes in the code. So I can just comment this one out, for example. Okay, so command backslash and it's commented out. And I can say background position center. And I save it. Okay, let's take a look. Now, as soon as I refresh, the center of the image should be in the focus. So the keyboard and mouse will move down. You see, this doesn't look good. So then we realize, okay, the previous coding was better than this one. So you can simply go either comment this one out, okay, comment backslash, and then bring it back to life. Okay, so comment backslash, it is back. Save it, and refresh. That looks better. So this is one of the benefit of comment. Now another benefit of the comment is that, let's say in our header we have a background image, we have a logo, we have a navigation bar, we have a main heading, a button, and some subtitles. So there are going to be a lot of designing. So what you can do, let's say header ends here, you can simply write a comment. So again, instead of typing it out, backslash asterisk backslash, and then to write something inside here, okay, you can use this shortcut again from Emmet plugin, command backslash, and it gives you to write. So I would say header ends here. So if I'm writing any code under this, I know, okay, header ends here, so that means the body part or container part will begin from here. Okay, so this keeps your coding organized, and when you want to look for it in the future, it is much easier. So like, for example, you have thousands of lines in your CSS file. All you can do is command F. Okay, so it says search, and then I can say header, and you see, like, wherever the header is, it is highlighted. So right now there are only very few lines, so it only showing on the screen. But let's say there were thousands of lines, then wherever the header was, it would come to appear on the screen, and then you wouldn't have to really scroll through the whole file and see. So that's the benefit of writing comments. Okay, it's not only for finding, but it also to define where a certain area is starting, where a certain area is ending, and it is very useful. Okay, now let's take a look at the colors. So as I said that there are 4 colors: hex color, name of the colors, RGBA, and HSLA color. Okay, so let's begin with the name. So we go back to CSS and we try to change the color of this heading. Okay, so this is the heading. Okay, let me go back and get the paragraph back, save the file, and refresh the website. Okay, we have got our text back. Now let's change the color of our main heading. So I would say, for example, color red. Okay, I save it with Command S or Control S on window, refresh, and this becomes red. Okay, so this is how to give the color a name. Okay, so if I would say blue, then the text will become blue. Okay, now the problem with naming the color, every color has shades. Okay, maybe you don't want to use only blue, maybe you want to use darker blue or maybe lighter blue. So what we can do, this is where we start to use hex colors. So let's take a look. So if I open another tab and I write here hex colors, okay, so we can go on which one, or you can also write HTML colors. Okay, HTML colors, and that's a good website. I like this website, and I take colors from here. And the good thing about this website is, like, here you see a color palette. Okay, and here is this color bar that if you drag it down, it shows the different color here. Now what is showing here? The darkest side of the color and the lightest side, and they're also showing gray, black. Okay, so if I choose, let's say I like this color, so the color selected, that this appears here. Top and up here, it is showing me the hex value of the color. Right next to it, it is showing me RGB color. Why it's RGB? Because, or red, green, and blue. It's not showing you RGBA because it's not showing you the opacity of the color. So A stands for alpha, which controls the opacity. And here is the HSL color that goes in percentages. So first one goes in numeric, and second and third goes in percentages. So you can choose either if you want to use hex color or RGBA or HSL, the value will be different, but the color will be the same. So for now, I'm just gonna take the hex color. So I'm gonna select it, press Ctrl C. We go back to our CSS file and I'm gonna paste it. Okay. So the hex color go in 6 digits or 6 numbers or 6 letters. Okay. And why I'm saying all of those, because there are colors, let's say 00000, that stands for black. If you say F 6 times, that is white. Okay, but here we have letters and numbers, so that's why it's a combination of all those things. So I'm going to have put this here. Let's save this file with Ctrl S. Let's take a look at our website. So we go on our tab, refresh, and now the color became the orange. Okay, now let's take a look what happens if I want to use RGBA. So let's copy the RGB color code. Ctrl C for copy, and I'm going to remove this. Now when you want to use RGB color, you have to write RGB, red, blue, green, and then you write bracket and then you paste the value. Okay, and if you save it, then you will not see any change in the color. Okay, because we have taken the same value. So let's refresh, nothing changes. But let's play with the color. So if I go to RGBA and instead of 122, I would say 222. Now, before you play with the number, you need to know that RGB goes from 0 to maximum 255. So if you try to write 355, it's not going to work. Okay, so you have to remain between 0 to 255. So instead of 122, I made it 222, and let's see what color it becomes. So I save it, I refresh it, and it became yellowish. Okay, let's say we go for the dark blue. Okay, I'm gonna take the color code, which is 2810-240. So 2810-240. Okay, let's save it, and our color will be dark blue. Okay, now let's take a look at RGBA. That means red, green, blue, alpha. So I'm going to add here RGBA. That means now it will ask for a fourth value, and the fourth value goes from 0 to 1. So 0 being nothing, and 1 being 100%. Okay, so if I'd say I want the opacity only 50%, so I would write 0.5. I save this, and now we look at this one. It will remain blue, but it will be lighter because the opacity is half. You see? So RGBA gives us more control over the opacity of the color. Okay, and the same thing goes with HSL. So let's take a look at that as well. So instead of RGBA, I would say HSL, only 3 values. Therefore, I will remove the alpha value. Okay, save it, and it will be, it's not going to work actually. I forgot to add the percentages. So first number digits will remain like this, but the second needs to have %. Okay, and third also need to have %. Let's save it. Let's take a look. Okay, so the color code we added, that was for white with the percentages, and it's gone. So let's take a look in here. You see, like RGBA was different value and HSL is a different value for the same color. That's why it became white. So if I take these values, copy it, HSL also goes in 255 numbers. Okay, and here it always go in 100. So if I say like this, you see, if I put it in the corner, it is only giving 100%. It doesn't go more than 100%, but this one, first value will go to 255 and last two will go maximum 100%. Okay, so I will take this value 245, 95, 50. 245, it was 90 I think, and then 50. Okay, let's save it. Let's take a look at our website, and now we have the blue color. Okay, now let's add the alpha. So we would say HSLA, therefore we have to add this fourth value, so you have to put comma to separate the value, and then I would say 0.9, that means 90%. You save it, refresh it. We do not see a big difference here, so let's try to make 5, 0.5. And you see, now you see the opacity, because first we had reduced only 10%, so we couldn't really see, but when we reduced 50%, you saw. Now as for HSLA, I haven't really seen many people using it. The widely used coding is RGBA. Okay, so that's the one we want to use. So now this coloring can be used to change the color of the text, change the color of the background. So let's try to change the color of our background. So if we go in index.html, we say we have body. So let's change the color of the body. So we go in main.css, and we would go on the top, and we would say body, we want color to be RGBA for sure. So color, and I'm just going to make up some colors. So I would say RGBA, red, green, blue, alpha, and bracket. I would say 27, 252, 66, and then I want the opacity to be only 70%, so 0.7. Okay, close it with the semicolon, save the file, and let's see what color it is. Okay, so I refresh to all the background color also behind the text should change. Okay, so in the body, the color is changed because I did not give background color, I gave the color of the text. So that's the color was gonna show up on the background. So let's fix it. In CSS it happens a lot, like instead of writing background color, I wrote color. So I only need to do is background color. Okay, save it. Now the text will turn back to black and the background will turn to green. There you go. Okay, now if I see, okay, that seems too dark, I don't have to go and change the color, okay, and try to find a different code that is similar to this color. I can only play with the opacity. So I can say, okay, instead of 7, I prefer to be 40%, so 0.4. Save the file. So it will remain like this color, which is like a parrot green, but it will be lighter now. There you go. Okay, that doesn't look very good, but I think it's all right. So this is how you would change the color of a text, of a background, also of shadow. So I'm going to reduce the size of this image, and I'll show you how to put shadow, color shadow for an image. So I would say header width should be only 80%, okay, and height should be only 300 pixels. And let's save the file. Let's take a look how our image looks. Okay, that looks really bad, but gives us room to see the color. So let's take a look how to put color in the background as a shadow. Okay, so when we want to give shadow to any object, let's say if you wanted to say shadow for the text, then it would be text shadow. Okay, but when we're giving shadow to an image or a background, you don't say like image shadow or background shadow, you say box shadow. So you say box, okay, shadow. Now it's gonna have maximum 5 properties. So first it says, let's say 4px. That means it needs to move the shadow to the x, that means towards the right 4 pixel. Then I want maybe that shadow also to drop down on y label, on y axis. Okay, so let's say I want it to be also 4 pixel. Then the third one is the property is blur. So how blur I want. So the higher the number, the more blur it is. So let's say I'd say 8px. Then the fourth property is sprayed. How far you want it to spread. So let's say 15, just to be like a crazy, so we can see the difference. And then it says color. So I'm going to give for now red. Okay. And then I save it. And let's take a look. So the image should have nice red shadow coming out. There you go. Now you see that it looks blur. Okay. But the problem is that it is also going on the top and the side, which I did not want. And that happens from the fourth value that was for sprayed. So if I remove this value, let's say I make it 0. Okay. 0, that means no sprayed at all. Then you see now it is not going anywhere else. It's a 4 pixel we did. It moves to the right, that means on the X level, that means horizontal level, and 4 pixel toward the bottom, which is like Y axis or vertical axis. And we gave like a blur. How much we gave? We gave 8 pixels of blur. So that's why it looks nice blurry. If you didn't want that dense, you can increase the number of blurs. So let's say let's change it to 20 pixel. Okay, let's see how the blur looks now. Now you see it looks a lot less, a lot more blurred and a lot more sprayed. But why it does not look good? First of all, the image is gray and the background drop shadow is red. Doesn't look good. So you may want to see which color would suit here. According to me, it would be good if there was a gray, okay, or like a dark gray. So let's change the color. So instead of red, I would say gray, okay, and instead of 20, I would make it only 10. Let's save it, because I don't like the shadow to be going that far, because it doesn't look practically good in websites. Now that looks good. You see that now it looks like that the gray image has a gray background, okay, because no shadow is ever red. So now it looks much better. So now we have learned to change the color of the text, change the color of the background, and also give a colored shadow. Okay, so this is for the colors, and what makes you best is practice, because practice makes perfect. So now open your code editor and start working on it. Don't just continue to watch something else or next video. Even if it's my next video, I would recommend you to go and practice first right now, and only then you continue my next video, so you can grasp everything you have learned from this video and you're ready to learn next lesson. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I will answer you as soon as possible. And if you want me to make any video that I haven't planned yet, please let me know as well, because in this series I'm planning to make CSS step by step. So I'm treating this tutorial as for the beginners, so I'm starting from 0 up. But if you feel that you already know all this video and you like the way I explain, I hope you like the way I explain, then you can just tell me like what subject you want me to cover already, instead of waiting for the series to end and me starting to give you new videos. So let's say if you want me to learn, if you want me to teach you about, let's say, flexbox or a grid or anything, or let's say floating or positioning like absolute and relative, if there's anything you want me to make the video of already, then please feel free to comment below and I'll make the video. And do not forget to subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon, so when I publish this video what you demanded, you will get the notification of and you can come and watch the video. So this is it for the colors. If you have any questions, feel free to write. So this was the video about the colors and comments. Next video is going to be about the images and putting background. So the way I put it here, I'll teach you in detail how to put an image in behind the background or behind a container or put in a header. There are many uses and there are many properties we can use. So that's what I'm going to cover. So do not forget to check my next video. So that's it for today, guys, and I'll see you in next video. Till then, have a good day, take care, keep learning, keep coding. See you soon.